Currently, we're in the White Rock section of Dallas, Texas. I'm in this shopping center right here, and I'm trying to find the exact location where a Blockbuster Video used to be in the mid-late 90s. This was a location where two employees of the Blockbuster Video were shot and killed during a robbery. While I try to find the exact location, I'm gonna do a quick rundown of the story and what took place. We're gonna go back to Monday, April 4th, 1994. Not the busiest of night if you're wanting to rent a movie. Usually it would be the weekend. So on that night, closing around 11:30, 12 o'clock or so, were two employees of Blockbuster Video. It was 20-year-old Brad Lindsay and 26-year-old James Armstrong. So they're closing up and there's still a customer inside looking for a movie. Little did they know was that this guy was not a customer. This guy was casing the joint and waiting for the right time to strike. As soon as all the customers left the Blockbuster, he pulls out a gun and forces James and Brad to open up the registers and give him all the money. They do exactly as they're told, and then he tells them, let's go in the back where the safe is and open that up. A lot of stupid robbers don't know this, but nighttime employees are not gonna have access to the safe because of reasons like this. They take him to the safe, and James already knows he can't open the safe. So this lunatic is telling him, open the effing safe, open the effing safe. And this guy, he's probably telling them, I don't have access to the safe. That's something that only a general manager or the manager during the daytime would have. Now, we're not sure exactly what took place after this, but we do know that James, from what it appears, either tried to run or at least break loose, but he was shot twice in the back. And after he shot him, he turns his gun to Brad and shoots him once in the back of the head. This guy kills two people here for $392. Now, the next day, the opening manager comes in and discovers this horrible scene right in front of him. He calls Dallas police and they arrive on the scene. Now, at that time, 1994, a lot of places, even though they had cameras, they're not gonna be the cameras that we have nowadays. So the only surveillance video that Blockbuster had at the time, these cameras, they had 4 cameras inside, and they would only take a picture like every second. So the police, they have a series of pictures pretty much showing the crime that took place. Now, they're looking at this guy. It appears to be a black male, kind of young. They're gonna guess maybe 18 to 26 years of age. They're not really sure of the height. They're guessing he's about 5'6" or 5'7". So this story is plastered all over the newspapers, all over TV here in North Texas. And about a week later, a woman calls Dallas police and she says, I know the guy that's responsible for the Blockbuster murders. My boyfriend's name is Leon Dorsey, and he told me that he did it. So the detectives, they go pick Leon up, go to the house, and they question him about the murders. Now, of course, he denies having any involvement in that matter. Now, the police are looking at him, and at the time, he didn't have a criminal record that they knew of. He might have had some run-ins with the law when he was 16, but I'm not sure if they're looking through his school records to see what he's done. And also in the video, the police, even though it's not really video, it's just a series of pictures, they're for some unknown reason, they're convinced that the robber in the video is like 5'6" or 5'7", and Leon's is about 6 feet tall. So he's too tall to be the robber. Maybe a jealous girlfriend. My girlfriend, she thinks I'm cheating on her, or she caught me talking to another another girl. So what, she's just, mad. She's just angry. So they just dismissed him. He's obviously not the guy that we're looking for. The girlfriend swears up and down that he said he was the one that killed him, and he told her exactly how he did it. Now, you fast forward about 5 months later, September 11th, 1994, down in Ennis, Texas. It's about 30 to 40 minutes south of here. So there is a lady, she's working at her convenience store. Her name is Hyun Suk Chon, 51 years of age. So a man comes in there, robs the place, takes her to the back. She empties the drawer, the safe, whatever he wants, and then he shoots and kills her. Later, the man that was arrested for that crime is one Leon Dorsey, the same suspect, the same man that was a suspect here in the Blockbuster murders. Now, he gets locked up, and when the police hear that he was arrested for her murder, they go down to the prison to visit him. Now, at this time, he's already tried, convicted, and he's sentenced to 60 years in prison. So the police go down there to question him again about the Blockbuster double homicide. And again, he's denying it. I mean, that wasn't me. And again, the police, they feel that the robber is 5'6" or 5'7", and Leon is almost 6 feet tall. So finally, Dallas police, they enlist the help of the FBI. The FBI takes whatever surveillance images that they have to process, and the FBI tells the Dallas Police Department, no, the person in this video is about 5'11". The FBI goes to where Leon is incarcerated, and they come up to him with the newly updated images, and they're comparing it to him. And finally, he confesses. He says, yeah, I did it. That was me. Now, this murder happened 30 years ago, and stories like this, very difficult to figure out exactly where it took place. I've asked about maybe 10 people if they remember where a Blockbuster video is. 3 of them kind of remember. One of them actually remembered pretty good and drew me a map. And according to his map, the Blockbuster, and it was definitely on this side of where the Albertsons was. If you lived here 30 years ago and you remember the story, please leave a comment below to tell me where the Blockbuster was so I can pin it in the comments. But according to his map and 2 other people, they could have sworn it was right here. One of these buildings, whether it was the Great Clips or the T-Mobile, Blockbuster would have been almost not really an anchor store, but it would have took up a lot of space. It wouldn't have been one of these like little, the smaller stores. So, for all we know, Blockbuster could have been right here, and it took up practically this entire half of this building. It definitely was not over there, and one gentleman told me that it definitely was not anywhere over there, that side of Albertsons. So he wanted to say that the Blockbuster was somewhere in this corner right here, but it's hard to find somebody 30 years ago who remembers things such as that. They remember the murder, but they, time changes, memories fade, and all that stuff. So he finally confesses nearly 4 years after the murders, and he was tried for both the homicide of Brad Lindsay and James Armstrong, and he was sentenced to die via lethal injection. Now, while he was on death row, this guy, he had a nickname on the unit. They called him Pistol Pete. I'm not really sure why, but it probably has something to do with him constantly being a problem while he was on death row. This guy was just, when I call these people animals, it gives animals a bad name. This guy just didn't care. He didn't care that they were dead. Showed no remorse. A lot of times, when people kill, they do show remorse. Maybe they were on drugs and now they're with a sober mind and they say, what did I do? Not this guy. He just didn't care. And going back into earlier in his teen years, yeah, seems like he's had like some kind of infatuation with guns, shooting guns. And most people that have this infatuation, they take their guns, their legal guns, to a shooting range. But this guy, it just seems like he was just destined to kill somebody. I think when he was 16 years old, he got into some kind of a fight on the street where he pulled out a gun on two people and threatened to kill them. So this guy, just ultimately a bad egg. This here is the Grove Hill Memorial Park Cemetery. Not very far from the murder location. And this is the grave of Bradley Vale Lindsay. You know, maybe about 3 months ago, I was just walking around the cemetery. I had no plans of doing anything. I was just taking pictures and looking around when I seen his grave, and I looked it up online, and that's how I found this crime, just by randomly walking in the cemetery. An execution well deserved. He didn't have to kill them. He didn't have to kill anybody. Rest in peace to all victims involved in this just prototypical, senseless murders. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.